All right, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. It's going to be 1 o'clock Central Time, coming to you from the great state of Texas. It is September 17th, 2021. And so before we get started here, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and bell for notification. And then also just a quick shameless plug for our new premium beard care products. And so we actually spent about 2 months developing this. And so if you are a bearded fella or you know a bearded fella, come over and check these out. You can get them on monkeywerxus.com. 2 different scents. One is Acacia, and the other is Silas, and they're both biblically named, and some pretty amazing products. And so we're pretty excited about that. So again, you can get that at monkeywerxus.com over in the shop. All right. So without further ado, let me break into what we really want to look at here, and that is what's up on the board right now. So we're sitting pretty high. It is Friday, but we're about 355 up currently, 363 now. So as you can see, I've got Air Force One. Actually, it's NA, which is not accountable, right? And so basically, he is landing, I think, in Dover right now. And so that is the one that's up. Just a couple other elements that we may want to take note of. Looks like we got the teal, which are the Hurricane Hunters, currently outbound headed east, and I don't know if there's something else out there they're going to check, but they've been pretty busy. And so you got your little 3 ship right there headed eastbound. And then, of course, we got some sentries up down here in the border region that are actually doing a little bit of work. You can see this is kind of chock full of trainers. And so this one's doing some little tight circles here, and our other one just disappeared on me, but rather than hit persistence and leave it up and skew our numbers, I'm just going to keep on with what we got. So looks like that one just got airborne, but we do have one down here on the border somewhere. All right, so that is going to be our main stuff right there. Let's get over here real fast, take a look at what Tyranny looks like for today. It looks like Tyranny got started about 8 a.m. and we're wrapping up around 1:25. Looks like he was headed over from the Brown Zone over to Dover, and then from Dover headed into Delaware, which our TFRs will show that as well. And so on that note, let's hop over here to the TFRs and see what we got going on now. We'll tell you there are a bunch of them up today. All of these right here, these little yellow ones, you can see these are going to be space operations. All right, quite a few of those. Now, let me see if the one in Orlando, that one's gone. That is Disney right there. Let me back up. That one is going to be Warner Robins, and that's actually going to be a security TFR. Now we get out this direction. Now, one of the things I do want to point out, there is a security TFR. We'll look at this closer here in just a minute. Over Del Rio. Now, let's see. That thing is actually 16th through the 30th. Now, keep in mind, that does not mean it's a no-fly zone. What that means is that anything entering that airspace is going to be closely watched by the FAA. So I have heard people talking about, can't fly drones in that area, etc. Don't know that that is fully accurate. I think you can. You just are going to be watched very closely. So typically they do that when they don't want people getting footage of what's going on down there. All right. So when I show you in a minute why, it'll make total sense. So it's funny because I started out with my thumbnail this morning and I had 8,300 was the number of Haitians that are on the border down here. And since that number, it is actually, it's already gone over, well over 10,000. And my understanding is another 10,000 actually inbound right now. So it's getting ready to go up even further. So, all right, let me back out a little further. A lot of air shows up. These are all air shows This one right here, I want to say was a security. Just double check and see if it still is, or yeah, it's a hazards. Now, I'm not totally sure. I want to say that was tied to the B2 that had a landing gear issue, but I don't know why it's still up. Again, air shows, which I've never seen so many air shows. This is pretty crazy. So security out here, security here, security here. This is actually, let me double check and see if that is a VIP. No, space operations. Sorry, that one's space operations. These two are security, space operations. All right. The rest of these red boxes you see here are basically fighting fires. Okay. All right, so that is going to cover us for the most part on most of them. Let's get over here. I do want to show you a couple more. That's going to be actually a normal. Let me see if that says VIP. No, it's air show. Sorry. This is going to be flashbang right here. Air show right here. Okay. These are both security TFRs over New York, which I found it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why those are up there. And given the dates, if you look at them on these TFRs for security, they run till the 25th of the month, September 19th through the 25th. So I don't know what's going on there, but just another data point. All right. Okay, let me back away. And again, it looks like these are our two new systems coming in. That's why we've got the teal flights, the Hurricane Hunters headed out that direction. Okay. All right, minimize that. Let's bounce over away from flashbang schedule here. Also, just a heads up, we've got 8 volcanoes that are currently have ash alerts. That's down by 2 from this morning. We had 10 actually up this morning, but all of these are aircraft ash alerts. So just kind of something we keep tabs on, all right? Okay, now let's look over here real fast at Guantanamo Bay for today. Looks like things have kind of slowed down a little bit, although we do still have the hearings going on for the 9/11 stuff. This is going to be your Legal Eagles Uber headed in and out. So this is their pickup, and then that's their ride home headed back to Jacksonville. And this is one of our normal flights, comes in Tuesday and Friday, although they change tail numbers, but they come in on those 2 days, and that is where we are now. If we back up just a little bit since our last TFR, here we are Friday. So last one was Tuesday. It's been pretty quiet there, actually. Had the United Airlines one roll in. And then we had these reaches that I thought were interesting, headed over to XPL Honduras. Now, I will tell you, I did have a conversation last night with somebody that spent quite a bit of time over there, and they're telling me that there is no prison in XPL Honduras. So I'm not really sure. Now, we speculated that this is troop movements, and we'll continue to watch this just in case, because I don't know, C5s, that's a lot of troops, man. And, if they're coming out of that location, maybe they're rotating from XPL over to Guantanamo Bay. I will tell you, we do see a lot of the Dagger flight spec ops guys going in and out of that base, and I've read a lot of different stuff about XPL. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right. Now, over here to N631JS. This is actually the one we're seeing roll into Guantanamo Bay, or actually already rolled in. You're going to note that it's going from Lauderdale down to the Virgin Islands, and it's scheduled for later on this afternoon. All right. So don't know what that one is up to, but I will just tell you that this one in the past week has been over here in Opelika. It's been in Guantanamo Bay. So as always, Opelika, Fort Lauderdale, 2 spots that we always watch, because definitely where I think we have some black site operations going on. Okay. Okay. Now to the good juicy part. Mercy, you guys miss Mr. Bigley yet? Because this current administration is absolutely just like wheels off, man. It is insane. I don't know how you could screw up so much every single day, and it's stuff that is so detrimental to this country. I don't know how you get back from there. It's just going to be pretty bold, because you'll have to go around and round up people, which is going to be hard to do. When these people get into the country, they disappear. I mean, there's a lot of us here, right? So, but anyway, this is thousands of migrants camping under the U.S.-Mexico bridge. Now, I'm going to show you a video. I hope you can hear it. Maybe a little quiet. If not, just watch it, because it's going to give you kind of a synopsis of what's really going on there. Ted Cruz is actually the one talking during this video, and it's about 1 minute and 7 seconds long. But he just walks through. You can see the people and note their nationality as he goes through this. These are not Hispanics rolling up. These are Haitians, and there's tons of them. And I will tell you that they are also rolling up. There may be 10,000 plus there now, but they say there's another 10,000 coming. So we're about to have 20,000 people there rolling up onto the border here. Now, again, I do find it interesting that both Abbott and Cruz seem to be fully engaged now. Does it have anything to do with the fact that, we had a lot of folks that were firing shots over the bow? Maybe, maybe not. You never know, but they seem to be fully engaged. So with that, let me bump into this. Again, I hope you can hear it. Hopefully it's not too low. But 1 minute 7 seconds, if nothing more, just watch the video. All right.
We're in Del Rio, Texas. It is September 16th. This is underneath one bridge. 10,503 illegal aliens. A mass of humanity that has crossed and is waiting to come into America. The reason they're here is simple. 8 days ago, the Biden administration made a political decision. A political decision to cancel deportation flights to Haiti. They did that on September 8th. 8 days later, these numbers appeared. On September 8th, underneath this bridge, there were between 700 and 1,000 people. But when the word got out that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were no longer deporting people who came from Haiti, suddenly everyone who was here called their friends, called their family, and the numbers surged to 10,503. That's what's here today. It is more than the capacity of the Border Patrol to handle. This is the result of a political decision. This is a result that is indefensible.
Okay, you get the gist of it. That one was, it's insane the amount of people that are under that bridge right now. And so, again, it's about to grow. I don't know if you noted the amount of porta potties there at the very end, but it was about 20 plus porta potties for, 10,000 people. So, you know where they're going, back there in those wood lines, guaranteed. Now, that another data point was just, did you note the fence? That was about chest high. Yeah, that's not going to hold and stop any of them. If they decide to come through that, they're going to knock that down and be over in a heartbeat. So, again, not a good situation down there. I don't know what's going on in terms of this flow. I did hear Cruz talk about them stopping flights September 8th. But I will tell you, in 8 days, you're not going to get 10,000 people getting from Central America all the way up, through Mexico without transportation. Maybe if they're all being driven, you can get there in a handful of days. But if they're walking, you're not going to get from Central America to there in 8 days walking. That's a long way to go. And so, these caravans, that had to be started a long time ago. So, again, unless they're riding trains and getting through there pretty quickly. But, again, another data point of just another failed immigration policy. So, all right, now over here, as we're speaking, now that was the, I guess we call them coconuts. And we'll talk a little more about the bananas here in a second. But now this is the other one that we seem to have, which blows you away when you think about it. We're letting people in unvetted. But these folks are, we've actually had to shut down, and they are very limited on flights right now due to measles breakout. And so you can see they're inoculating. This is, they're doing MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella, chickenpox vaccines. But it's just, again, another data point, and just seems to be endless. Everything that we seem to be doing, they seem to be doing is just another takedown. Introducing something bad into our country. All right. Now, one thing I did want to point out here, this is tied to the the poppies, okay, coming inbound. Texas is expected to get about 4,500 here in the state of Texas once they leave the camps, okay? Now, the other piece, too, is I want to just point out that the only states who are not expecting anyone are going to be Hawaii, South Dakota, West Virginia, and Wyoming. I don't know why they're not sending people there, but, just a data point. Again, it seems like that is, just 46 people going. And then what does it say? Many are going to swing states. So, again, data point. I think we know why they're doing this, all right? Okay, let's get over here to Biggs Army Airfield and just take a quick look at what's going on now. This place has actually slowed down quite a bit in terms of flights coming in from Baltimore, Washington. Now, I do see this Omni Air that came inbound, and that was this morning at 4:38 a.m. It's a 777-200. More than likely, that was probably bringing some poppies in, maybe somebody that's been cleared or who knows, but looks like they did shift a couple of them, but they weren't bringing them into the country, probably already here. All right. But that is probably the only one that I see that may be an item. Now, this also, I'm not sure about this Airbus, but this is Allegiant Air, which is another one that's been moving them as well, coming out of Eglin. So I'm not really positive on that one, but could be a prospect as well. Okay. So, and it looks like it went from here. Now, this thing could have come in first thing in the morning and then been taking people out, that are already cleared and vetted and ready to roll. Because there is a flight, that same flight leaving Biggs and going to Indianapolis. All right. So maybe that could be what's going on too. And then this one looks like it flew some folks on that 320 over to Sarasota and Bradenton, Florida. Okay. So, again, we'll keep our eye on this because I think everything seems to be paused at the moment. I did see some numbers that would indicate there are more folks coming from Germany that are going to uptick this from 50,000 to a little over 100,000. And that's what they're telling people. So, it's going to be higher than that, okay? All right, now, this is Holloman Air Force Base. That's out in White Sands, New Mexico. You can see not really anything coming in. This one I'm not fully clear on. This is a Malone Air Charter. May or may not have anything to do with it. I don't think anything's really going in and out of Holloman right now, okay? These are going to be, they're coming in and out of the same base, so nothing really to watch on those, all right? And nothing on the schedule, okay? Now, we'll get over here to McGuire, and there were a couple on here that kind of caught my eye, like this Reach coming in from St. John's. And then these Top Cats right here, those are going to be R-135. So those are going to be Spy Birds. And let me see if we've got anything else that was leaving that looked just a priority air transport. So I don't know. These Reaches may be normal stuff here. Really looking for stuff coming in internationally. So, but we'll keep our eye on this one again. Things slowed down. Like I said, there is a hold supposedly on the poppies. Now, let's get over here to Del Rio, where that's where we were just watching with the base and not the base, but the bridge there in Del Rio. That's where we have a no-fly, or not a no-fly, a TFR in place. Now, I will point out this is a Swift Air that came in from Phoenix this morning, 737-400, and then another one from Alexandria. Again, that's your 72-hour holding facility. But it looks like only one of them has departed so far, headed to Tucson, Arizona. And then this one here looks like it's headed to El Paso at around 2:10 p.m. This afternoon. So, again, these are the two inbound, and that's their outbound. So those will be bananas, okay? So one other thing I want to point out, I am getting intel that would indicate that McAllen Airport is chock full of bananas and families. And that if you go into that airport, I actually have a video. I just didn't have time to get it posted up. But there's a guy with like this massive beard. So you guys probably see the same video. But he basically pulls off his mask and he's like, you got to see this. And he just starts showing you around the airport, and everybody in there are Latinos, from either, Mexico or Central America. They all have envelopes, no luggage. and they're just hopping on flights and going all over the U.S. So on our dime. So something has happened to where the stay is not fully being executed. It looks like they're still allowing folks in. Don't know the rationale behind it, but there it is. So all right, now on the other note, this is going to be Swift Flight. This one here, this is actually everything that's airborne currently as we speak. Just want to point out where these are heading. Okay, so this one here is coming out of Dominican Republic, headed into Miami. Miami back to the Dominican Republic. So note that's just the tail. Note that the number on that one is 01 and then 02. So that's probably going to just be a return of the same aircraft. Okay. Now this one here is actually rolling out of Guatemala into San Antonio. So they are probably bringing people in still. Another one here coming out of Mexico into Alexandria. That's again, that would be a 72-hour holding facility. Now, are they coming back empty, or are they bringing people into this place to process them? I don't know. Del Rio to Tucson. So that's probably taking people to Tucson. Based on the numbers that we're seeing, there's not enough airplanes there to fill it. Okay. And then this is going to be up in there, Minnesota. Minnesota. And then this is McAllen over to Tapachula. All right. And so that's headed southbound now. Is this one that's taking people back? Maybe, don't know. I'll have to jump on. There's a couple dudes. There's one guy that's showing a lot of stuff down on the border, and I'll have to kind of get up to speed on him. And then this one here is just looks like a Biloxi to Knoxville. So that's probably just a regular flight. These other ones are definitely engaged. Okay. All right, so that's going to be our Swift flights and what they're up to. Now, let's get over kind of into the weeds on some of these Swift flights. Now, this one landed 21 hours ago coming out of Fort Bliss and headed to Miami. Now, again, I don't know if they're relocating people from here, taking them to Miami, what the deal is there. Very plausible, okay? And so, but that's Biggs, okay? And so that could easily be either Poppies or Bananas. No telling. Okay. All right. Now, this one is going to be in 397 SW. That's headed from Alexandria to Guatemala City. Landed 28 minutes ago. All right. And so that is more than likely people getting out processed and sent back. Okay. In 629 SW, that's rolling out of Minnesota, headed down to Wichita, Kansas. It's currently en route. Now, let's see, for Friday, just to kind of show you back up here, it started out in Brownsville, went to Chicago. So that probably took some folks up there. And then Chicago, it hopped over here. These are probably non-related flights, if I had to guess. This one from Brownsville up to there, more than likely took some folks up there to Chicago area. Okay. All right. Now, I was looking at the Eurocopters because I was trying to see if we had any kind of security on the border in terms of the Eurocopters, because that's kind of their flavor of helicopters. And I'm not seeing much. I see this one here, and I'm going to click on it. That looks like the tail number on it looks like it's going to be U.S. Border and Customs. So we'll check on that one. But everything else, if you notice, that Mendoza Diagonal, folks, has got no airplanes really doing anything, or helicopters, sorry. Really no air traffic there from them. And so, you'd think if we were so concerned about this general area that it would be, hot, right? And so let's see. This one is in 3646A, Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, all right. And it looks like it is just right on the border doing a little bit of work there. And you can see flying around. So they probably have eyes on some folks in this general area. All right. Okay, so that's going to be Homeland Security. And then this one is going to be Texas Department of Public Safety. Now, this was Del Rio, and you can see they were actually really hot on this general area early on. Now, this is from the 12th, so they haven't really flown since Sunday, which, again, is surprising. If you know anything about this airplane, we've looked at it several times. It's got the surveillance stuff on it. You note all the antennas. Definitely got Stingray and Dirtbox on this airplane, 100%. Okay, now let's get back over here to the main board. We'll delve in as I wait for that thing to marinate. And I said, this has been kind of an interesting day. Now, this is all trainers, going to be a lot of trainers in here. You got some 703s that are running routes. Okay, that's going to be one of your spy birds. That one is another 703 that was running routes earlier over this general area. Okay, and so and then of course I know we've got one that is up here. See if I can find it again. There it is, Snoop 01, and you can see they were up there running that same area. So I don't really know what's going on up there, but they always seem to be running routes up in this general area on a regular basis. Got a couple P3s pretty far inland, Navy P3s. All right, air refuelers here, a lot of air refuelers up actually. Okay, and then our sentries. Like I said, we already looked at those sentries there. We had one a little further down, has disappeared since, but again, air refuelers, C-130s. So, all right, I think for the most part, let me back up and see if we got anything happening out here in Hawaii. Not seeing anything at all. Given the time of day, it's still pretty early in the morning there compared to here. So, again, a lot of stuff seems to be happening down here in Bogota. We've been watching a lot of our Spec Ops birds roll in. There's one right there as we speak. Those not familiar with this bird, just to touch base on it real fast. It's just a little high wing twin engine. It's basically, this is what our spec Ops guys use. It's probably the Dagger guys using it as well, but little Dornier 328. It's a little workhorse, man. It can actually land on some pretty short remote runways, and again, this is what they use primarily. So when you see that engaged, we got some Spec Ops guys in the area usually. All right. So that, folks, is going to be kind of it. If anything changes over the weekend, again, I expect in the next couple days things are going to get really interesting down here on the Texas border. This stuff right here in the Del Rio area, I would imagine we're going to end up with about 20,000 people there. Again, McAllen seems to be down here, seems to be letting people in, and the airport is full of them. So, and they're catching flights all over the U.S., paid for by you and I. So, pretty crazy times. So, anyway, let's just keep praying, man. Remember, Mr. Bigley had asked us all just to pray for the next 21 days. I think we're about 18 days left or so. So just keep praying. There's a reason for it, I am sure. And, I think things are about to break in some other areas. So keep our eyes on it. And other than that, you guys be safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. God bless. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear and products at monkeyworksus.com.